broken. I wanna wake up with a bird. Be welcomed into their home. Half of me is dry and half swimming out to sea. Half filled up and half alone. Puzzled, gonna keep myself in one piece. Trying out my mind each time. You couldn't be what we wanted you to be, but electricity.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So welcome to the final race for today. So we are the women's combined race for the individual cycling national championships for Singapore 2025. So Ryan, tell us what do we have today?
So in this women's heat where we have a combined race across a few different categories. So let's take a look at who we have as our competitors today. So firstly, in the elite category, we have Jennifer Choi. We have so you can make it a bit bigger. Can pull out the list. Sorry, you're the woman. We have a slight technical issue here. Yes, we have Jennifer Choi, we have Olivia Ong, and we have Doreen Chu in the elite category. Not only that, we also have the master category where we have Alicia Britton from Matador Racing, Anna Fritz from Integrated Riding, and Boram Seo from Matador Racing as well. Finally, in the junior category, our younger riders, both from VSG Academy, we have Cadence Tan and we have Cheyenne Kang also competing in this race. So 8 ladies, 3 separate races, yet it is still the same in the same heat. So Yichin, maybe you'd like to take us through the course that they are going up against?
Okay, so for the course itself, it's fairly similar to the earlier one that the men's junior did. It's the loop 27.2 kilometers with 169 meter of elevation. So once the game we move over the game later, then we'll show you some of the key hills, some of the punchy segments for today.
So in general, it's a relatively flat course, yet at the same time they do have a little bit of rollers. I think they have 1 or 2 short punchy climbs, and then it's a one last uphill ascent to the finish. Yeah, so I think the races are about to start. We have just about under 20 seconds to go. So let's stand by and get ready for what we should hopefully be an exciting race as well. Can lower the music in the broadcast. We need music for them. Okay, and we are off, and the race has started. So on screen on the right side you have the leaderboard, and you can see that it's quite a vigorous start from our ladies here. Doreen taking the lead with Olivia and Cadence following close behind. So you can see you have not only the names and the teams, but also the category they're going in. So you can see Olivia racing for tribal triathlon, I believe.
Correct.
In the elite category on bike number 3 in studio. So here most of the riders are in studio here at Virtual Cycling SG at the YMCA down in Ascent Fitness, with the exception of Jennifer Choi, who unfortunately because of work travel I believe has to join us from overseas virtually. So the race is off to a close start. Everyone's going quickly on this downhill, but we have Cadence leading the pack with Jennifer starting to push the pace a little bit on this first descent. So Yishin, maybe you just like to talk while the races are going underway. Maybe you just like to talk a little about the course profile, which you can see at the bottom of the screen in Training Peaks Virtual itself.
Okay, so for the course itself, there's a few punchy segments. So now we are going downhill. So then we'll reach for let's say about 4 to 5 kilometers of flat route before we have 2 hills again, and then we have another flat section, and actually past 15 to 20 km, that's where actually the real fun start. So we have multiple like 3 to 4 punchy climbs, followed by another slight incline between 20 to 25 kilometers, and lastly the sprint uphill as well.
So while this is still considered generally flat with just I think about 150 meters of elevation around there, but yet some of those some of those uphill punches are quite steep. You can see from the gradient profile where from the green it turns to yellow and red. That is in fact where the gradients go quite, I would say, quite steep. You know, maybe almost up to 8, 9, 10% even. And that's where I think you'll see the riders
see some action soon or some breakaway.
So right now, leading the race, we have Alicia Britton from Matador Racing, followed closely by Jennifer Choi, and Boram, her teammate, is just right close behind as well. And it seems like we are starting to have the first split. You know, Olivia is slightly off the back here, just about maybe 2 seconds. Not sure if she'll be able to close the gap, but you can see that she's definitely putting down the power, hopefully trying to catch back the leaders. And in fact, she has, right? So I guess it's maybe just a minor scare, maybe just being caught a little bit unaware, you know, momentary easing off, but everyone's still going close together now.
Correct. But I think they will still be fairly much bunched up together in this flat segment.
Yeah, perhaps we'll see the first signs of separation in the first climb, maybe at about the 6 kilometer mark. So you can see on the left how much distance they have covered, and on the right you have the distance remaining. So we want to especially thank Training Peaks and Training Peaks Virtual for supporting this event and supplying not just the account but also the platform where we can use this to organize the race as well.
Correct.
So Ichin, let's talking about the racers, having seen how maybe the qualifiers have gone through,
Yeah.
right? Maybe let's talk about who are the hot favorites for the overall victory in this race. Bear in mind that this is a combined category, so you do have, you know, effectively 3 races going on.
Well, actually, so that's a good question. So I think Jennifer Choi, she has been quite consistent in terms of the racing this year. So she joined some of the VSG Power Series as well, which is another series separate from the National Championship. She had performed well, so I think she will definitely be one of the favourite. The range, she's the lightest, one of the lightest rider here. She would probably do well up the climb. I think Boram as well as Alicia from Matador Racing, they are very strong as well because there are very strong riders out there on the road. But this is one of the first few times that they are actually competing in esports competition in Singapore. So I think it'll be interesting. It will be really an eye-opener to see as well.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you there, right? I think having rode with some of them before, knowing Jennifer, she has a lot of experience virtually as well as out on the roads, right? I think her specialty in fact would be time trialing, so perhaps this might suit her if she spends a lot of time in the front or if she manages to get it down to a small bunch. We also have, I would say, Alicia, one of the standout racers for one of the local clubs, Matador Racing. She is quite highly prolific in a lot of local races. So despite not being Singaporean, you know, she has been active in the Singaporean racing scene, and I think especially in the last few years, she's definitely risen to prominence as one of the more outstanding riders here.
So now we can see here on the screen that's Boram. So Boram, she is actually racing, and then she is still in the pack. We'll see how they go afterwards later during the race.
I think we have the first significant split. Cheyenne from VSG Academy, racing in the junior category, has already been spat out the back by about 20 or so odd seconds behind. A little bit unfortunate, but then again, she only has Cadence to go up against. I think Cadence at least has a healthy lead, about 20 something seconds, almost 30 seconds now, right? Being in the main pack, on the main peloton, I guess enjoying the benefits of riding in a draft.
Yeah, so I think what happened to Cheyenne, so Cheyenne, she's a new joiner in terms of cycling. I don't think she's even cycling with a cycling kit now. So kudos to her for coming here and putting herself out. And I think she's slightly under the weather now. so she may not be pushing hard if she don't feel well enough.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the reality of racing, right? Sometimes as much as you prepare, you train for it, you're excited. On the day itself, whether it's illness, whether you didn't have a good rest or good sleep, and in the end, you end up just not being able to perform well simply because of circumstances out of your control. And I guess that's the harsh reality of racing, but the good thing is at least, it's a safe environment here in virtual cycling, and in one of the, I would say, not as hotly contested categories. At least as long as she finishes the race, she knows that she has put in her own good effort.
Correct.
And I think especially in the previous few races, she has definitely shown that she's highly competitive as well. Okay, so looking at what's going on now, it's still quite steady rolling. I think we've come to a slight lull in this period now. Perhaps waiting for the first few uphill kickers before the action really takes place, right? So maybe in this point in time, Ijin, if let's say you are advising, as a director sporty for any of these riders,
Yeah.
what would the game plan be?
So I think there's two punchy climbs coming out, if you see at the bottom of the screen, between 5 to 10 km. I think the goal would be to stick to the peloton as much as possible, because the rear fronts, like what I mentioned earlier, will start between 15 to 20 km. If I want to make a move, either I will make a move at one of the steeper hill between I think it's 16 to 17 km. Otherwise, I might just wait for the breakaway to happen and go with it, and then see. And if I can't catch it, I have enough power to save for the last uphill finish. So I think that would be probably the plan that most people will be thinking.
Yeah, I guess again depending on the rider style, I guess, or their rider profile, maybe what I will look at is, even in this first initial uphill slope where you see the riders have already reached, probably what you will encounter is that someone will make a push here,
Yeah.
right, just to tie out the legs. Even if they don't manage to get any separation, having to put the pressure on your opponents to chase you does take its toll. Then perhaps later on in the race, when you really want to put in the move that sticks, that's you can capitalize on the opportunity, especially as you said, around the 15 to 20 km mark, where you have a series of rollers, in fact 3 short climbs, and then before the one steep uphill finish. So now we see ongoing, we are following Doreen's perspective, and she's currently holding Boran's wheel on this short uphill punch that they're coming to the end of soon, and then they'll have a short downhill or short descent segment. Yeah.
Correct. And then I think the earlier, which we didn't see now, earlier during the men's junior race, when they used the same route, I think some of the riders at the very first descent didn't manage to follow up the pack, so they got left behind. But luckily the girls are still bunched up together now, except for Cheyenne. So I think most likely they will stick all the way until the punch between 15 and 20 km.
Alright, maybe let's take a look at Alicia, who has taken over the lead of the race. Again, all these differences at this point is still very marginal. Just I guess jostling for position. Sometimes a matter of who is taking the initiative to push the pace a little bit. Right now, enjoying a slight tailwind, slight descent as well. That might be where riders like Alicia, Jennifer, they want to push the pace a little bit, just to wear out the competition, put in a little bit of a dig, and we can even see that. I guess Alicia looks like she's in quite a good rhythm, just in the zone. I would say in a kind of a comfortable tempo probably.
Yeah, she's still smiling, so
Yeah,
I think she's enjoying the race.
yeah, maybe enjoying the calm before the storm, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll be the one to unleash the storm on her opponents, but we'll see, right? Especially now, it's probably early to tell. Yeah, and I think it's nice to see that we have quite a closely contested pack here this time.
Alright. So I think we have. Oh, earlier I thought I saw a 1 second gap behind, but it seems that they have got back up.
Yeah, it just might be a marginal stringing of the people, especially when the pace is a little bit higher. So that's why sometimes you see an occasional 1-2 second gap, but then after that, for just a brief moment. Yeah, I think on our screens we do, especially when we have the roam cam, we're looking at the riders on we do see Jennifer as well. I mean, joining us remotely from all the way in Kuala Lumpur. You see that, I think based on her body language, she's really in the zone, just maintaining maintaining her zones, maintaining her pace, not really overexerting herself yet. And we can see, of course, on screen now in our main view. Maybe let's like talk about is Cheyenne, is it?
Yeah, Shein,
Yeah,
correct.
talk about Cheyenne a little bit.
Yeah, so Shein, she is a new academy riders in the second intake of the VSG Academy. She has been with us for the past, I think, 1 to 2 months. So we haven't really started official training yet, but she has indicated interest in track cycling. So the goal is to get her up to speed in terms of fitness, and hopefully we can send her to some of the track familiarization weekends in the future.
Yeah, I think it's good that whether it's virtual cycling or that it's a gateway into out there so-called real world riding, whether it's road, track, it's basically multidiscipline.
Yeah.
And I guess you do learn at least some of the racing skills. Maybe not so much positioning, just or bike control, but at least you do learn pacing, learning how to manage your own effort, and definitely the fitness aspect of it.
Yeah. So now, as you can see, I think on the camera itself, that is Cadence. So Cadence is also another female rider that's from VSG Academy, and she will be representing Singapore in the 2025 UCI World Championship semi-finals next week.
So maybe Yijin, you'd just like to share with us a little bit about this UCI World Championships. How is the selection process like? Because I understand that this Esports National Championship was used as a platform to try to identify riders who could potentially represent Singapore as well.
Correct.
Right? So maybe just like you share a little bit about what was the process like, how did it integrate with organizing this national championship as well.
Yeah, so I think the deadline previously to submit the names were by the last week of August. So in order to do that, we need to have our qualifiers before. So that's why we had 2 qualifiers, so that we use that to select the riders, and I think most importantly the riders, they must be interested, so they must have indicated interest. So that's how the riders got selected for the UCI World Championship. So I think we have 3 riders now. We have Doreen, Olivia, as well as Cadence that will represent us next week, and they are all in this race today.
Right, and it seems like they've cleared the first set of rollers and everyone's still bunched together. Right, Alicia leading the downhill, the downslope with Doreen and Jennifer not literally right on her tail. Right, and now currently on camera we see Boram definitely putting in the effort to stick with the pack. Right, I think Boram, perhaps this race in that sense, some might consider that she is not really her style, because I think she's known to be more of a climber, or, as a more lightweight rider, rather than just a flat puncher as well. I think out on the road when she participates in races, I think the typical races that she goes for are more hill climbs. So again, this way perhaps among our competitors we do see slight differences in rider profile, rider tactics, and we'll see how that works, because currently they're on a bunch. So whether they should have gone, whether they should bide their time, we will see some some indication later.
Correct. So I think the race will be they will all be bunched up together, like what I mentioned earlier. They just passed the 10 km mark. We have about 17 km more to go. I think this is a conservative bunch, so they may or may not even try to break in the uphill. I think looking at in terms of I think cycling power, I think Doreen or some of the lighter riders like Doreen, Cadence, they might want to start attacking when the hills start. So I think we'll see what they do afterwards.
Yeah, in fact, I think at this point in the race, it seems like again we're on the pan flats, a little bit difficult to really get any separations unless they really go very very aggressive. Might be a little bit. I guess we might be in for, what they say is a very pedestrian kind of stage until maybe in the last stages of the race where you see attacks start to come, just to get a bit of separation and maybe even a bunch sprint.
Yeah. So I think looking at this, we can safely say that we have about maybe 5 more km to 6 km to go before we start the climb, and we'll see whether the breakaway form. So just curious. So maybe I think while we see that they are cruising on the flat, I think Ryan, maybe would you want to share more with us because we saw that there's a draft punk recruitment, correct?
Oh
Recently.
yes, sure. Perhaps I'm not sure if I should be a representative of my team, but I guess as a member of the team, I'll just share.
Yeah.
But I ride for Draft Punk Race Team. We're one of the local clubs here in Singapore. And I guess we do, I mean, sometimes we do ride against or with some of the other teams in Singapore as well. So especially participating in races, I guess being just involved in the local scene.
Yeah.
So currently we're open to recruitment until the end of the month. So we have just a few more days, and we're looking for all kinds of riders as long as committed, team player, dedicated, or you're driven to just want to improve and have fun. I think our ethos is not necessarily that we need to win, but we need to put an effort that we're proud of, and most importantly, have fun doing it. Because I mean, cycling for us at this level, as amateurs, you gotta enjoy it, right?
Correct,
There's no point, trying to kill yourself, trying to win, trying to, do better than everyone else if you don't enjoy it. I think, and that's actually part of the fun, trying to do better, trying to improve, find ways to train and improve. And then there's the satisfaction where, I've made this breakthrough. Yes, I might have lost this race, I might not have raced it smartly or what, but at the end of the day, coming together as a team saying, hey, we put in our effort, we inspire and encourage each other on. So if you're looking for a local team, do check out Draft Punk Race Team on Instagram. Right, you'll see the links in bio over there for to sign up for recruitment, and then we'll get in touch shortly to arrange something. Yeah. So thank you
welcome.
Ichin for giving me the platform at least to share this with you. And I'm sure even if maybe Draft Punk is not what you're looking for, I'm sure a lot of other clubs out there, are looking for riders as well. Some maybe if you approach them, then they'll recruit. Or they may not openly canvass or look for or openly ask people to join them as well. Yeah. So I think maybe since we're talking about that, maybe Ijun as one of the, I would say, pioneers of VSG Academy, right? I think you mentioned we have two riders for VSG Academy here, Cadence and Cheyenne, both from in the junior category. Maybe you just like to share a little bit about what was the idea behind VSG Academy, right? And how that will translate beyond their time in the academy.
Yeah, so basically the idea of VSG Academy was that when we started VSG and started hosting competition, there were a lot of kids who came for our competition and realized that they don't have the necessary skills or fitness to join a racing team yet. And of course, when they go and apply, they'll just get rejected. So what VSG Academy serves is that we are not a race team. We are actually a development program lasting between 1 to 6 months, where riders will come, they will learn essential cornering skills, essential fitness, bike handling skills, fitness related tools, etc. And then after 6 months, we try and link them up with another racing team in Singapore based on their personality and the needs of the racing team. And then hopefully some of these riders can then move on to pursue a further experience in their cycling journey. So that's the whole idea of the VSG Academy.
I think that's really quite a noble ambition, and I think platforms like this, whether it's the national championships, esports national championships, or you have even I think you mentioned the power series, right? These are also talent identification, so to speak. Maybe not that's not the objective, but nonetheless you do recognize and is a platform for newer riders to get into racing, get a taste for racing, and then they maybe get connected to the people around as well.
Correct.
Yeah, and also through VSG Academy. So maybe like to share a little bit about who are the teams you've worked with before. I think recently there was a race, stage race that some of the VSG Academy seniors did go for, right? And maybe who you worked with, who are the people who are the race teams that are being connected with as well.
Yeah, so initially I think CTCC, the cycling training CC, another racing team in Singapore, they got an invitation to participate in the 3 days Tour de Kedah stage race. But I think back then they only had one confirmed junior which can do the race. So the total max number of riders is 6. So VSG then provided another 4 riders because we have some juniors racer. And then together 4 VSG rider and 1 CTCC rider, we form a combined VSG X CTCC team to actually go and compete. So it was really a good learning experience. Although to be honest, when the boys go there, they are actually at the bottom of the results list because they are going up against like Terengganu, Malaysia Pro Cycling, even the Malaysian national cycling team, etc. But to them, it's a good experience to gain and actually use it, hopefully, the knowledge in the future for their future competition.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting, and hopefully, as time goes by, programs like this, like VSG itself, on all these platforms, esports national championships, all these races can function as platforms to either encourage more racing, encourage people to participate, and hopefully we do see the community grow. Right, I think
Yeah.
the one thing I appreciate is that maybe different teams, maybe different groups, but at the same, we still respect each other. We are friends with each other. And there's a lot of cooperation that goes on within the cycling scene. I think
Correct.
that's quite admirable, and that's something that we strive for.
Correct.
Okay, so maybe turning our attention back to the race, we see that they are coming up to the 15 km mark, perhaps getting ready for the next set of kickers. You can see that their pace has started to pick up a little bit now. I think you can see on the mini map ahead, on the top right of the corner of the screen, that they are about to go into this loop that brings them around, like up and down on these rollers, and perhaps that's where we'll see some of the moves go. Right, currently we have Boram, Jennifer, Doreen, Alicia, Olivia, and Cadence all stuck together. So maybe Cadence has a very, very healthy lead in the junior category, but the masters and the elite category kind of is kind of open for competition, right? We have Alicia and Boram teammates contesting the masters category. Is it just the two of them?
I think yeah, correct. And then initially there's supposed to be another lady, but she's sick today.
Yeah, so again, unfortunately, when whatever life hands you, in this case illness, it is just part of the harsh realities of racing, right? Even virtually. And then in the elite category, we have Olivia, we have Jennifer, and we have Doreen, who are I guess in tight contention at this point. Yeah.
Correct.
But based on the previous few races, I think maybe looking specifically at the elite category, right? What's your prediction?
So I think if Jen can keep up with the ring on the hill, then it could be that likely Jen will win. But I think, to be honest, not that we chose the route to make it in favor of the ring, but because the ring is such a small size rider, she will definitely have the advantage over Jen when climbing uphill. We really you really have to go down to who have the better legs. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and sometimes it's also the timing, because there's a mix of the hills and then there's the flats, right? Doreen more as a climber, and then Jen more as a time trialist. So they do have their respective strengths on this course. In fact, now we're seeing them go into this first kicker of 6%. 6%, even in real life, it's kind of it hurts the legs a little bit, right? And you can start to see that it's starting to string out a little bit. Doreen still taking the lead with Alicia close on her tail, but you have Jen and Boram not far behind. Olivia and Cadence starting to slightly fall back a little bit, but nothing too significant. It could just be the way the peloton kind of stretches and compresses as they change their speed. So now you see that they are back to flats. You even see Alicia smiling to the camera. Definitely, I think she's within her zones, riding happily, and I guess getting ready for what will probably be a little bit more intensity later, in the later stages of the race.
So now let's click on Cadence and look at her. I think Cadence now, she has a 6-second gap behind the main peloton. If the gap grows to 10, it's almost quite hard for her to actually catch back. So it could be that Cadence is already done for today.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's still 6 minutes ahead of her competitor, right?
Correct.
Again, bearing in mind that we have basically 3 races in one.
Correct.
So Cadence she may be down behind, but she's definitely not out. In fact, she's ahead of her competition. Yeah, so I guess she just needs to maintain her effort. I think unless anything catastrophic happens, or Cheyenne has a sudden boost to her legs, we might be looking at our junior category champion in waiting, because it's still a bit early to call it, but at least based on what we have seen so far, definitely she's in quite strong position.
Yeah.
Okay, and looks like the riders are going into the biggest, I would say the biggest climb of the day, or the steepest one, right? Pushing upwards of 7%. Alicia's still in the lead. Looks like they're all managing the effort, taking it easy together.
So here is the steep segment, about 7 to sometimes 8 to 9%.
You think Doreen is gonna make a move?
I think so.
Oh, I guess right on cue, right? We just say it, and then she's starting to put in a dig, you know, and it looks like the others are responding too. Yeah, Doreen is starting to put a dig. Alicia, I think that's Alicia and Jen. Three of them, I guess, as we mentioned, are top three favorites, responding to each other. And once they crest over, the question is whether how will they make use of the downhill to either recover or maybe even use that to try to gap the opponents, so that you don't give your opponents any breathing room.
So I think the first pack we have Doreen, Alicia and Jen, 14 seconds ahead of Olivia and Boram. I mean, if Olivia and Boram don't close the gap, then it's likely that they will just go already.
So, Ichin, maybe just to again maybe just get the sense of if you were leading the strategy, bearing in mind that Jen and Doreen are in the elite category, but Alicia's in the masters category, right? So technically they're not really competing against each other. But if you are Alicia, would you contribute to taking turns in this breakaway, just sit in, and let the two of them work? How would you approach it?
I mean, it really depends on the intention and her comfort level of where she can actually perform. So if let's say she know that she might have difficulty keeping up with Jen and Doreen in the climbing, she will have to go hard and fast. So she'll have to make a breakaway somehow and reach the hill first, because it will eventually take Doreen a faster time to crest over the hill, the last uphill, compared to Alicia. So she need to make sure that she has some time that she can actually save when Doreen start catching up. So she has to make the move somewhat soon, in between 20 to the 25 km mark. Otherwise, it'll be difficult. I mean, we'll never know. Yeah.
And I think right on cue, right, it looks like our top three riders, they're all starting to exchange. Not, I wouldn't say exchange turns, but rather they're exchanging digs at each other, trying to put a little small surge here, small surge there, trying to get a bit of separation, see how the competitors responding, and I guess aside from Jen, who is joining us remotely, for Doreen and Alicia, they can glance across the room, take a look at each other, the body language, to see, hey, are they still in good condition, are they primed to respond, or maybe if they're looking elsewhere, they're not really paying attention. That could be a point to put in a dig as well. Right? I think the three of them have some clear separation from the rest as they approach one more descent, and that concludes the rolling section before they have kind of a false flat upward, and then one final climb to the finish in the virtual velodrome.
Correct. But to be honest, 38 to 39 seconds to catch is quite hard to catch. So it could be the podium. That's our podium for today already.
Yeah, I guess again we can anticipate it that this will be the podium, but again there's no guarantees, right? Whether a mechanical, whether they start looking at each other and then the chasing pack manages to bridge across. We did see I think in the men's race earlier, I think there was a chasing pack that caught the breakaway with about time gap about almost 26 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not a foregone conclusion, but it looks like the gap is opening, and perhaps is an indication that this is indeed the podium.
Yeah.
Then the question is, between Doreen and Jennifer, who takes the elite champion, and among the three of them, who takes the overall win.
Correct. Yeah, so now you can see that the gap has actually grew to 42 to 44 seconds. Yeah, so it's, I think Jen, Doreen and Alicia, they are safe, at least from the chasers, but within them they'll have to play either cat or mouse or some tactics now. So you can see Boram now here.
Yeah, we're taking a look at Boram on screen. I think she's definitely pacing herself up, and she has Olivia for company. Again, both of them are not competing against each other. They're looking at they're in different categories, and Boram, in that sense, she's only competing against her own teammate for second place. So perhaps to her is just she could just sit up and let Olivia do the chasing, but it looks like she's taking the initiative. she wants to, I guess, again, put out her best effort,
Yeah.
right? Rather than just sitting in the comfort knowing that she's got second place in the bag at least. Again, it's all about doing an effort that you're happy with,
Correct.
right? And I think we can see on screen, we'll see Olivia, who is, definitely a little bit in the hurt locker now.
Yeah.
So we wait for the camera to start to show on screen. Yeah, she's definitely putting in the effort, trying to hang on to bottom, because the draft is valuable, right? I
Right.
think just to shout out to Training Peaks a little bit. Training Peaks Virtual, they've modeled they tried to model real world physics, so you have things like drafting, winds, you have things like peloton dynamics, taking corners at speed as well,
Yeah.
and that affects the line, how much even braking effect, all that comes into play. So we're quite thankful that we have this platform, such a sophisticated platform. It's not just about pressing on the pedals, but when you press on the pedals, how you virtually position yourself with your against other riders, that could have quite a significant effect.
Exactly. And then now, as you can see, let's click back to Doreen, Jen, and Alicia.
Let's take a look at the leading group, right? And we're looking at, again, a breakaway of Doreen Chu, Jennifer Choi, and Alicia Britton, right? Doreen riding for Cycling Training CC. We have Alicia, who is on screen now, whose POV, whose perspective we're following now, riding for Matador Racing in the Masters category. And then we have Jennifer, who is racing as an independent entry, joining us remotely, but she is definitely right in the mix here, even if she's not in venue. So on screen we have Doreen. You can see definitely riding in her zones, definitely at her own tempo. Perhaps we're starting to see a slight lull again, right? Maybe not so many attacks, but they're definitely all trying to keep close together.
Yeah, but they are just.
I think right on cue we start to see Alicia start to push a little bit.
Yeah.
She's definitely pushing the pace. I'm not sure whether she's getting any significant gap. What we're seeing on screen is what she'll be seeing on her screen as well. And into the picture pops Jen and Doreen into the picture as well.
Yeah, I don't know what was that a stretching or an intentional breakaway, but I think the effort could have been more sustained.
It could be a momentary spike in power just based on changing gear, getting the higher resistance. So on the watt bikes who are supplied by
Eco
Lifestyle Fitness.
Yep.
Yes. So again, shout out to them. Thank you for all the support as well for supporting VSG with the watt bikes. They do represent the resistance you feel, switching gears.
Yeah.
Doreen, however, is riding her own bike connected to a Cycle Plus trainer. So that's quite interesting because then she's not using the watt bike, but it's based on the power measurement of an indoor trainer, and that shows there's a versatility in equipment. You don't necessarily have to buy a watt bike, buy a specific indoor bike, but you can get an indoor trainer, and it's still a way to participate.
Yeah, so I think they are entering a split soon, so we can hear some of them mentioning right or left.
Yeah, I think in room maybe there's a little bit of cooperation going on, right, between Doreen and Alicia, because Jennifer is not in venue. It seems like it looks like they all have taken the same route together. Have
Yeah.
they?
Oh no.
Sorry, let's take a look at where Alicia is. Alicia has
still with the-
they're all on the same road. So at least all of the same road, then they're not significantly affected. I think in the past, I mean, I've raised this route before. Sometimes taking the other lane. I think if the camera zooms out a little bit, you can see a more you can see change the in-game camera to something that zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, you can see the split in the road. If you're alone on that side, that could be where you put an attack and the opposing side can't really chase you. But at the same time, you lose out on the draft if you're alone, right? And whether your road goes down and up, that does affect, the momentum, right? If you have to climb, obviously you'll slow down. If you're descending, then obviously it will add momentum. But that means, it does affect how much effort you have to put in to maintain that pace as well.
Yeah, so as you can see, the top three leading riders, they are actually at 23.5 km, 1.5 km, or maybe about 2 more km away before they start the climb. I think if no one makes a move, then it might jolly well end up being who can climb or who has the freshest legs of today. Then
Yeah,
I think
and I think that last climb is not that insignificant too. You're looking at about gradients of I think 2 to 3%.
correct.
That's maybe for those of us who ride out on the roads in Singapore, we're looking at slightly steeper than South Buona Vista Road. That's about 1 to 2% on average. So you're looking at something slightly steeper, and that as an extended climb. At the end of the race, right, going into a flat velodrome where they have to put in power maybe for bunch sprint,
Yeah.
you can either see some separation or attack goes there, or if it really goes, then it's a matter of who has the freshest legs at the top of the slope. So if you're just joining us, we are about 3 kilometers away from crowning our new champion for our new women's champion for the National Esports Cycling Championship. Yeah, where we have Jennifer Choi and Doreen Chu in the leading breakaway for the elite category, racing Doreen racing for cyclingtraining.cc and Jennifer as an independent entry, as well as Alicia Britton for Matador Racing in the masters category, also represented in the breakaway. So this will be it seems likely that this will be our podium overall for the race, but we're looking at 2 potential winners here and crowning 1 new national champion.
Correct.
Actually, slight correction, because I think for a national champion to qualify have to hold Singapore citizenship. And I think this is where Doreen has kind of secured it by being in the breakaway and being the only Singaporean in the breakaway
Correct.
in the elite category.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jennifer, as much as she's a very seasoned veteran in our local racing scene, she does not hold Singapore citizenship. So that unfortunately doesn't qualify her to be the national champion. That said, she still can take the overall win, and I'm sure there's a lot of honor and pride in doing so as well.
Yeah, so maybe Jen, it's time for you to take up the Singapore citizenship soon after this race.
I'm sure the coaches and the management at SCF will be glad to hear if you do.
Yeah, so as you can see, they are approaching the climb soon.
We're just under 2 kilometers to go. They're pushing into a slight headwind, so maybe as a matter of who takes the lead, which currently we have Jen in the lead, that could put a slight toll on the legs, especially if the margins are very close.
Yeah. Okay, so
Alright, and further back we have one chasing group of Bora from Matador Racing in the Masters category, as well as Olivia from Tribal Triathlon, also in the elite category, just under a minute behind. So in the sense their positions are kind of secured, bearing in mind that they're again not competing with each other because they're in different categories. And finally, you have our 2 junior riders way further back, but Cadence leading from Cheyenne by quite a significant amount as well. So as we go into the finale, the last 1.4 kilometers, watch out soon for the red smoke. When you see the red smoke, you have about 1 kilometer to go. And you can see on the minimap, they will make a turn at a junction and they will begin the climb, 2 switchbacks, or rather 2 hairpin turns before they go into the velodrome. Okay, I believe in this case they will have to do more 1 full lap around velodrome, or is it half a lap?
half a lap.
Half a lap.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so at least they know that once they enter the velodrome, they should be primed for a sprint, at least the way things are going.
Correct.
You can see their speed has started to fall, but that's not because they're easing off, that is because they are hitting the slopes 3% uphill, and it looks like Doreen is starting to push ahead a little bit. Not sure if she's really going for attack yet, but we can anticipate that she will be doing one soon. Right, and right on cue, she starts to push a little bit with 1 kilometer to go, with Jennifer close on her tail and Alicia right behind. It looks like they're trying to respond. We'll see how it goes.
Alright, slightly ahead, just very slightly.
Yeah, 800 meters to go. You have Doreen leading from Jennifer and Alicia starting to fall back. Perhaps Alicia realizing that hey, she doesn't really have to chase here, right? Bear in mind that she's already got the champion, and nope, she's still in the picture. She's in fact pulling a little bit ahead. Seems to be easing off. I think she's setting it up for a bunch sprint.
Yep.
Right, and they're nearing the top now. Doreen's still ahead. Come on. This is where we have a climber versus a time trialist versus, I would say, quite an all-rounder.
Yeah.
At least out there on the road. Doreen's starting to put in a dig, starting to put in a little bit more power as they round one more hairpin right here before they go onto the velodrome. Once you see the velodrome virtually in game, you know that they have one final sprint to go. 400 meters to go. You can see Alicia definitely put in the effort, right? Yeah, right on screen. You have right at the bottom corner as well, you can see Jen, and it seems that they are picking up the pace, setting it up for a sprint. Alright, we are following Jennifer's point of view. Alicia kicking first. No, is Jennifer taking the lead? Can Doreen respond? It looks like she's trying, but I think Jennifer has it in the bag. She's definitely has the lead. Doreen taking the second place so far.
Yep.
Behind.
Well done, Jennifer. Doreen
Sorry.
and
So
Alicia.
we have Jennifer who took the win in the sprint, followed by Doreen and then Alicia. So congratulations to the three of them. Jennifer will be the overall champion for this race, as well as the women's elite champion. Doreen, even though she come in second place, she will take the national champion title, and second place in elite category, while Alicia for Matador Racing will take the champion for the masters category and the bronze medal in for the overall race.
Correct.
So wonderful job by these ladies. You can see them on their cooldown spin down the slopes as well. I think you caught a glimpse of them going past. But we have Boram and Olivia still tightly contesting each other. Again, they are in different races, but the question is whether for overall honors, right? 4th place and 5th place on the cards, right? Boram as a climber, Olivia as a triathlete. Who has the power?
Yep, it'll be interesting to see. They are entering.
Yes,
the
200
velodrome.
meters to go. The question is who has a sprint. Boram perhaps with more experience as a road racer. But then again, don't discount triathletes because they also have significant power on the bike. Okay, but it looks like Boram is going to hold on and she's going to take it. Olivia's starting to close the gap, but I think she's run out of road. She has not been able to get it. So there we have it. Right, 4th place goes to Boram, 2nd place in women's masters, and then Olivia rounds up the elite category podium with 5th place overall finish.
Yep. So now we're just waiting for Cadence to finish with about 1 more km more to go, followed by Cheyenne at the back.
And these two junior riders, definitely a splendid job, hanging on for quite a significant amount of time, racing their own race, but at the same time also
Correct.
putting in quite a good effort. So well done to all these ladies that we have seen. I guess all they can hope for is, in future for more ladies to join.
Yep.
So as a call to anyone, any ladies watching the stream, please, come and join the race. It's a safe and fun environment. It's not about pride that you have to win and all that, but what matters is starting is an achievement in itself.
Correct.
Right? And not only that, but hopefully once you get the itch for it, then that's where the whole world of bike racing comes in, virtually on the road, whether it's road, mountain bike, track, all these different disciplines. I'm sure there's something in for you. And for the guys on stream, if you either your girlfriends, wives, sisters or whatever, encourage them to pick up the bike as well. Join us, right? Join these races. And hopefully we get to see the community grow as well.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So she's at the last turn before she hits into the velodrome. Yep, and she is
So
entering.
300 meters to go before we can officially crown Cadence as the junior champion for the virtual esports, for the virtual national championship for cycling.
Correct.
Right, as she makes her way around the velodrome, with the finish line in sight, just about 100 meters to go, before she finishes and takes the win in the junior category. She will finish 6th place overall, and with Cheyenne finishing being classified as 7. So thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure if you've joined us on stream. It's been a pleasure to watch these races, and thank you, Ijun, for joining me in this commentary booth as well.
Yeah. So we'll probably let the stream run until Cheyenne finish, then we'll don't go away, so we'll have the podium ceremony
Yes,
outside after.
we don't leave anyone behind. So
Yeah.
even if we're not on camera, if we're not talking, we're there in the room, encouraging them on. So stay on stream. Stay on stream, not just to encourage them to finish, but also to join us for the podium ceremony later, where we will award the prizes for all the respective racers as well. Bear in mind that again, this is a 3-category race, right? And then we also have the overall race results.
Correct.
So I'm Ryan, this is Ichin, and we thank you for joining us
Thank
here
you.
At the Virtual Cycling Singapore.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you guys, here at our events in future.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
So see you in a bit. We'll see you at the podium ceremony.
Yeah, see you at the podium. Okay, so we're gonna start with women's elite. So in third place, we have Olivia. Olivia will also be representing us in the UCI World Champs. Okay, so we're gonna start with women's elite. So in third place, we have Olivia. Okay, and then in second place, we have Dareen. And of course, in first place, we have Jen. Oh wait, no, then you're the session place. No, I took a dry one.
Then you proceed.
I mean, it is what it is.
They can both of you just get onto the podium. Yeah.
Must leave space for Jen. Must leave space for Jen.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3.
You can put the teddy bear.
Alright.
Okay,
Somebody should stand on top.
okay, next. Then we have the women's junior. Okay, so in second place, we have Cheyenne. Cheyenne has a fever today. You okay, right? Okay, in first place we have Cadence. Well done. Oh yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so you,
Sorry, sweaty.
Right here, 1, 2, and 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Alright.
okay. Next up we have Women Master. So in second place we have Pura. Okay, thank you.
Oh my
And in first place we have Alicia. Well done.
Okay, look here, 1, 2, and 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Okay, last 1, 2, 3.
Between monsters and our legs hurt.
Okay, so now for the overall winner. Okay. So in third place, we have Alicia in third place. Okay, and in second place, we have Dareen.
Jen. How's the teddy?